So country music is a big part of Texas culture, right?
For sure.
Um, who right now are like the top 5 names in country music?
I wrote some down. Honestly, though, there's so many. There's
So
so,
I start
at
okay.
least
So for a little
for
context,
myself.
I would listen to country. I enjoy country music, but I haven't really listened in depth since like when I kind of stopped. It was around like Billy Currington, Dierks Bentley, Luke Bryan was kind of starting off, Eric Church, Toby Keith was a big name, Kenny Chesney, Jason Aldean was kind of starting out. Those were kind of the names.
Okay. Yeah. Well, those are considered, well, I consider them. And I know a lot of us Texas country music junkies do. That's pop country. That's pop country. It's mainstream country. But if you want to go into like country that is rooted in Texas, right now we've got Coetzel, Flatland Cavalry is a big one. Parker McCollum, Cody Johnson, Turnpike Troubadours.
Turnpike Troubadours. That's a good name.
Yeah, they're not strange. They're just an exception because they're not actually from Texas. They're from Oklahoma, but they won the hearts of Texans somehow because you know that we do not like Oklahoma.
Is that a thing? How big is the rivalry with Oklahoma and Texas?
I think mostly if you follow college football, the NCAA, I think that that's where it's rooted.
Right.
I think that's where it's rooted, honestly. But so they somehow won the hearts of all of us. They're probably my favorite country band ever.
Yeah. I mean, if you're good, you're good.
Yeah. And unfortunately, they are not together right now. So everybody's begging them to come back.
Yeah. Okay. So let me write some of these down. So we got Coetzel. You mentioned we got the Turnpike Troubadours.
That is such a cool name. Flatland Cavalry. They are coming up right now a lot. They are on top of their game. They just released an album recently and it's amazing, honestly.
So a fun fact, I learned this when I was in college. I took a radio station class, and country music by far is the largest listened to genre in America, by far. Like it has the most radio stations, it's the most listened to. It is big.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if you ever come to Texas, obviously Texas is very proud of We Do It Big, and we definitely do it big when it comes to country music. And so also Parker McCollum is a good one. Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson, that sounds like just like a guy I went to high school with or something. Cody Johnson.
He has a pretty good story. He used to be a professional bull rider and got injured, or I think he got injured. Don't quote me on this just because I'm not 100% sure. I know he's coming out with like his story. He's coming out with a documentary or something like that, where he explains exactly his path towards country music. But I think he got injured, couldn't no longer ride, and ended up using country music as his plan B, and now he's a big old star. So
okay, so bull riding didn't work out. I'm gonna try this country music thing.
A star is born Texas style.
Wow.
Yeah, but so I've also got a few.
Okay, so you got quite a list here. I like this.
Yeah, so a lot of I try my best. Whiskey Myers is another one. I know Whiskey.
I've heard of Whiskey Myers for sure.
Yes. So I do have a lot of Wisconsin.
That is a great name.
Friends. Yes.
That's a great name.
I do have a lot of Wisconsin friends on Twitter, and they're like, yeah, he's great. And I'm like, he's worshipped in Texas. He is pretty much, yeah. People worship him. Mike and the Moon Pies. There's a lot of bands. I can go on forever. If you want, you can follow me on Spotify. I have like 2,000 songs on my country Spotify.
What's your handle on Spotify?
My handle on everything is Ojan Jan. OHHJAN. Oh, Jan Jan. My family calls me that. It just happened. I've had that name forever. So that's my name. I'm the original Oh Jan Jan.
Oh, Jan Jan. So what? Okay. Is there, two questions real quick. What's the biggest stage for country music in Texas? If like you play it, you made it type of thing.
The Houston Rodeo. I think.
Houston Rodeo.
The Houston Rodeo, I think. That stage is ridiculous. Just because I've been to the Houston Rodeo and I've been to that arena. It's an arena. And so during the Houston Rodeo, what they basically do is they do the rodeo during, like, I'm going to say, I don't remember the times that we actually got there. But so the times was like rodeo from like 4 to 7. And then it was like, then we'll have Cody Johnson from blah 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 to blah blah blah, or George Strait, but in the afternoon. So you get rodeo during the day and then a concert at night. And so I think that is one of the biggest stages that artists perform on, and it is it's pretty amazing to see. Just because I saw Blake Shelton there, and I knew it was a pretty packed stadium until the lights went off and everybody turned on their phones, like the lights, to play Austin, his like #1 song. And that's when I realized exactly how many people were at that stadium. And the stage was rotating in the middle of the arena. So sometimes you would get the back of the stage, but then he would come around and you would see the front of him. But I think that is like one of the biggest stages in Texas.
What stadium is this? Is this Reliance Stadium? Or is it in its own separate thing?
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. It's almost there. The NRG.
Oh, okay. It's changed its name. Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest.
The Texans play. Yeah.
Yeah, it is one of the biggest stadiums that I like keep up with no Texas teams whatsoever.
It's so funny.
It really is funny because I'm hearing all the hoopla and I don't even pay attention to majority of Texas teams, honestly.
Yeah, well, they're not good at football.
No, they're not.
So is there what do people think of like pop country music then?
Oh, it's not completely frowned upon. I mean, we'll listen. I listen to everything. I will listen to it. But there's some people that like don't tolerate it at all. The other day I was on the river and I was playing my music, and I do have Dolly Parton in my country playlist. I'm not gonna not have Dolly Parton. That's like not having Willie Nelson. That's like not having George Strait. And this guy was like, hey, can you turn it off? Because we kind of want to listen to country music. He wanted me to turn off Dolly Parton. And I was so upset. Because no one's ever told me to turn off my music. I'm pretty good at my playlists and stuff like that. I always set up my playlist so that way, there's not a song that doesn't come out that people are bored of or whatever. So I had like my queue all set up. Dolly Parton comes around. He wants me to turn it off. I was really upset.
Where is this? Where is this where you're curating and playing the music?
On my speaker, I have a waterproof speaker that I take to the river with me.
Oh, so you're on the river. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm on the river, and I'm really prepared when it comes to any kind of body of water, just because I've dealt with everything. So my phone is waterproof. My speaker is waterproof. Everything, like I'm set. And I took my speaker to the river, and that's when he was just not having my music.
So you're the one playing music. What is that? I know at like parties and stuff, someone usually gets to pick the music. What do you think about like the politicking that goes kind of behind the scenes and like trying to be the one to play the music? Do you ever experience that?
I think it just depends on who you hang out with, because the people that I hang out with, honestly, don't ever have a problem with my music. This guy, I don't know who he was. He just randomly came out of nowhere, and he was from Oklahoma or Ohio.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
he wasn't even from Texas. He was from Ohio. So, or I don't know where he was from. But as far as when I play my music, I've never had anybody tell me anything. And I'm really good to also hand over my phone in case somebody wants to hear something. I'm like, just cue it in so that way it runs smoothly and it doesn't just abruptly change and somebody likes the song and whatever. So I'm really good to like pass my phone around if anybody wants to cue in any music.
Yeah, I have some friends. So I'll go over to their place. And so I have my friend and his girlfriend, and they kind of like try to sneak in their music, like be the one to play the music. So one has like one particular style, the other one has a different style. And I noticed that they're trying to position to like be the one to play the music when I go over. It's funny.
Yeah, and I'm pretty I guess persistent. I get there whenever I go to the river, or if we're barbecuing with my dad, I like rush to put my music on. So that way I'm the first one here. I was here first.
You control the vibe. The vibe is important for the entire experience for everybody.
Yeah, I used to actually, not DJ, but like when I was in college, it was always my like AirPod or whatever. What are they called? I forgot. Time is going way too fast. It was actually like my music that they would put.
Oh, nice.
For the parties. And they would always say like, hey, take out your music. And I would just put it. And now I'm just like addicted to being DJ at anywhere I go.
Yeah. That's a good thing to have.